What's going on, everybody? I'm out here today at one of my favorite courses in the Augusta area. We're out here at Riverview in North Augusta, and I got some new molds that I'm testing out. Not necessarily all new molds, but new disc of molds that I'm familiar with. I've got some different kind of buzzes. I've got a flash that I'm going to be testing out today. I got a thrasher, so out here testing these discs out, see how low we can shoot. But beautiful day. We've got some ice coming in this weekend. So trying to enjoy this weather while we got it. So let's get into it. All right, stepping up here to hole one, y'all, which is, it says that it is, I think 360, just straight ahead downhill. I got a new Nate Doss TI buzz, new to me anyway, slightly used. We're just gonna throw a couple warm-ups first, kind of get loose, and then we'll go with our actual shots. We're gonna go Osprey and Aztec. So we're going to start with the Osprey here. A little more height and that would have been, well, actually, that's still going to be okay. I turned that one a little too much. All right, now let's try out this new Z Flash. This one is brand new. Never thrown a flash, but we're gonna see how it flies today. Oh, and it is way more stable than I was expecting. All right, let's get up there. All right, got my Osprey up here. Thankfully, that was my first one. That was in a good position. Great shape on that one. Got a nice little turnout of it. Only got about 20 feet left here. First putt of the day. A little high, but that is in for a birdie. I am stoked to get that one. That flash is a little more overstable than I was expecting, and so I'm gonna have to test it out on a little bit more of a release angle and see what I can figure out about that disc. All right, we're on to hole two, which is a par 4, 450 feet uphill. I still don't know what to throw on this. I'm stuck between a fairway and a distance driver, just in terms of how I can get the most up the hill there. I think I'm gonna go faro to start just because it's controllable, but I also know I can get some distance. So let's go faro, see if I can punch it up there, get a little bit of drift and fade. Just like that. If that fades, that should be, oh no. I can't tell how good that is. Let's try the flash. Again, I thought this was gonna be a lot less stable, but it actually feels like it's going to be more stable, so I need to account for that. And that thing is more stable for sure, but pretty good flyer, and that's actually a really good shot. All right, I got myself in a pretty good spot with a faro. I got to get this out wide with the zone, see if I can have it crash in a little bit. Oh, get there. Get fast, get fast. That should be part. All right, should be a tap in birdie. All right, got my zone up here, very close. 10 feet for the birdie. That's a hole. If you get a decent drive, you should be looking at the basket. It's a pretty small landing zone, but overall, relatively easy hole. All right, now let's move on to a hole that is not a real easy one. This is a par 3, 365 feet. It is a big left to right shot that you want to have something that holds that turn without just kind of diving down. So I'm going to go with the Aztec. See if I can get this to get on some angle and just push over there towards the basket. Oh, if it doesn't hit that tree. Man. All right, so some horrible shots there. Now let's try out this thrasher. I've never thrown an ESP thrasher, but we're gonna give this guy a try. Early release. Oh, didn't really get to see what that does. I'm gonna try the flash on a forehand shot. I feel like it would be a really good forehand disc. First forehand of the day, at least a drive anyway. It is. Wow. That might be a new forehand disc for me. All right, once again, not really sure what my shot is here. It looks like it's probably going to be something like a backhand hyzer here. Very tricky shot, but got to get something that punches through here. Oh, that could be really good. Yeah, that's fine. It caught some of the tree limbs, but it pushed through enough. Should be a pitch up. Got the Zone SS up here. Really good shot. And by pitch up on that last one, I actually meant tap in. And that's exactly what it is. All right, on to hole 4, old hole 1 here. 300 feet just straight ahead. Good in between of like a mid-range and a fairway for me. But I like to go mid-range just because of the way it plays onto that hill. I feel like a fairway goes a little too far. Let's go with a buzz here. That should be really good. That's got a good amount of glide. Ooh, maybe not. All right, let's go fairway. Let's go pipeline just to see what the difference is. I'm gonna take some off on this. Yeah, just so easy to control. That may go in. That's right by it. Just a nice smooth shot there. Well guys, I guess I noodle armed this one. I thought I was a lot closer, but a little bit short. Thought I put enough zip on it, but I guess I didn't. It's probably just inside the circle here. See if we can cash one of these long putts in. Come on. Let's go. And that is stealing a birdie right there after a pretty easy hole, and then you just kind of fluff the drive. Nice to get the putt going. And then my easiest one with the pipeline spits right out. All right guys, on to hole 5. Very tricky hole here. It's only 220 feet, but it goes down this steep hill, and then you got to land on this little flat part. And then if you go too far, it goes way down the hill to the right. So I like to take something overstable, kind of flex it, have it fade back towards the basket. I'm gonna throw my relatively new zone, which is the Sparkle Z one with the buzz stamp on it. I'm just gonna try to put a little turn on it, see if it'll flex back for me. That is not great, but as long as that didn't roll down the hill, that could be really good. More flat, but as long as that didn't roll, that should be a pretty good shot. I have no problem admitting that this got super lucky. Somehow it snuck through all that. Only got me to about 15 feet here left for the birdie. And that's another bird. What is that? I think I've gotten, what, 4 out of the 5? So a little bit of luck, sometimes what you need. All right, hole 6 is 252 feet just straight ahead. Probably the easiest hole on the course. Really nothing in the way. You can get a little unlucky and have something roll down, but overall, just straight ahead. Let's go Zone SS here. And that is really good. A little bit left, but yeah, no problem there at all. Could be if it fades. That's in. That's in. Look at it. Oh my goodness. Let's try to throw a buzz in. Let's go with this TI one. Could be. Oh, it's right over it. Y'all, the course is playing relatively easy right now. I got all these Zone SS's and buzzes right here by it. Go with my first one. That is another bird. Pretty hot start. Let's see if we can keep this one going. All right guys, hole 7 is probably my new favorite hole out here. 551, got to make it around the bend. Then it goes down the hill across the creek. See if we can get over there with the Aztec. This should set me up good, hopefully, if I throw this right. That should be really good. Yeah, I don't see any reason why that should not be in a great position. We got to try out the flash here. Yeah. Dude, that's a good disc. It is not understable, and once I figured out that it's not very flippy, it's actually flying really good. Kind of like a vulture, I would say, very similar. Yeah, nice disc. Last one I'm gonna try is the pipeline. See if I can hyzer flip this one. Just like that. Those are 3 quality shots right there. I'll take all those. All right, guys, got the Aztec in a pretty much perfect spot. My flash is a little bit longer over here. My pipeline is right here behind this. So out of the 3, my first one was the best one. I'm gonna go Ringer GT here. Just pitch it up. Should be right there. Not a bad shot, but not exactly what I'm looking for. That should be amazing. Just a little bit high. Yep. All right, that's gonna work. That looks really good. Please go in. All right, it is way easier to set up the camera across the bridge there, so that's what I'm gonna do. Only got about 20 feet left. Not exactly the shot I was wanting, but not a bad one either. I'll take this. And that is another birdie. Man, love getting that one. All right, guys, on to hole 8. It's a par 4. I'm not really going for distance. I'm going more for positioning. So I'm gonna go with my Venom here. See if I can just get one over to the right. I turned that a little too much. Yeah, I tend to end up there a lot. Hang on. Let me just try the Raptor, see how it compares. I think that's more of my play that I need to go with. Yeah, all right. Make note for next time. All right, guys, walking up with 2 discs here to my Venom just because I don't know what I'm gonna have to end up going with. I feel like I land behind these 2 trees every single time. It is very, very frustrating. I'm gonna try the backhand here. See if I can sneak it through there. As you can tell, not a very good shot, very difficult approach there. Go with the same disc. Just see if we can float it in. Oh, thankfully it snuck under that. That should be a tap-in par. Hole 9 is 441 feet, par 4, another tricky one. I love this hole though. You can either go turnover backhand, try to push up the hill, or you can go forehand. I'm gonna go backhand, but I'm gonna change it up and go Melita. Something a little bit more stable than the Origin. I feel like I've been turning it over too much. All right, so because I don't have a great run up, I'm gonna try something I never do. I'm gonna go pipeline, forehand, just try to touch this thing up and use the speed to get me up that hill there. I turned it, don't hit that, no. Man, yeah, not great footing here. As you can tell, I'm in complete jail here. I've got nothing. I mean, if I were to make a putt like this, it would be a miracle. We're gonna have to pitch out. All right, that is the hardest par on a short par 4 that I've ever gotten. All right, guys, hole 10 is 225, straight down the hill. Got to hit this gap. Should be pretty easy, but you got to hit the gap first. So we're gonna go zone SS. Just punch it down there, let the disc do the work. Just like that. Maybe a little early, get down there. Oh, that is right underneath it. That could do it. That's in. Oh, bro, how did that not stick? All right, so got the ace run right there in front of it, but my blue one, being my first one, helps me get back on the birdies here. Hole 11 is, I think it's in the A placement, which is 235, just over there to the left a little bit. I'm gonna go with my Crystal Sparkle, or excuse me, not Crystal, it's just a Swirl Z Flex Sparkle, whatever you call it, zone here. Ooh, that's out wide. Ooh, that's not a good shot. All right, apart the middle placement, which is right here, but a little bit long and not enough fade for the short one. Probably just inside the circle here. Gah! It was right on it. And then I get that too low and then too high. Man, how do you miss a easy hole like that? All right, take my par, take my medicine, just move on. All right, guys, hole 12 is 308. Nice little hyzer flip up to a hyzer play here. I'm gonna give the flash a throw on the very first throw. It's made me a believer thus far, so should shape up nicely for this. See if it has a chance of making its way in the bag here. That is money. That should be perfect. Also money. Yep. Y'all, this flash is making a case to make the bag. I mean, it is flying great. Straight to stable. Get me up here for some birdies right next to my Onyx. Man, if you haven't tried a flash, maybe it's a disc worth looking at. All right, on to hole 13, which is in the par 3 335-foot placement, way over to the right. Plays as a big turnover. If you've got a forehand that is big enough to get out there and skip, you got that play as well. I'm gonna go Osprey. I think it shapes just right for this type of hole. And if I get the height right, should funnel right to it. If that holds that turn, didn't quite get it over enough. Let's give this Thrasher a throw here. See how understable it is. Oh, and it is flippy, all right. That could be okay though, maybe. Osprey went a little too straight. Didn't quite get the turn on it that I needed, so I've got an outside the circle putt here, but slope behind it, which should give me a relatively safe run here. Got it. Let's go. Wow. All right, hole 14 is 365. Tricky hole just because we got a straight headwind at the moment. Got to get it right over that hill. You won't want to throw something too high. You also don't want to throw it too low, obviously. So got to get the height right, and don't want to push it all that far. I say I don't want to push it all that far yet. I'm going to go with a nuke and try to just tone down on it just because I want to make sure something fights this headwind. Let's go ESP nuke here. That should be hopefully really good. I think that's going to be really good. Just threw that about 70% or so. And that one too is looking really good. Whew. It's listening for it. Man, I am misjudging these distances, and I think the headwind slowed it down some. Outside the circle here, scary, scary putt. See if we can ring one of these up though, maybe get a little half bid. Oh no. All right, good par to get though. Would like to have that drive a lot closer than that. That is totally on me. Got to throw it a little bit harder into that headwind. So make the adjustment next time. Very rarely do I get colder as a round goes on, but the temperature is dropping like crazy. You're supposed to get snow and ice this weekend, and it was like 62 earlier. I think it's already dropped down to low 50s, but we're on to hole 14. This is a par 3. I think it plays like 330-ish or something like that, just over to the right. And we're gonna go with the Z Venom here, the Z Swirl. Got a little more headwind. I typically go Z Light, but I wanna make sure I get a little more fade on this one. Got some turn, now fade. Fade, 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 fade. Skip. That's gonna be a long, long putt at it. Dude, I love that disc. There's not many discs that fly quite like that. I thought I hung this out way too wide, but ended up getting a pretty good skip, only about somewhere in that 25 to 28 range left for the birdie here. Got a lot of wind as well. Whew, wasn't pretty, but it stuck. There we go, that's a better putt. All right guys, hole 15 is 290 feet straight ahead. I'm gonna go with a buzz just to make sure I can tone down on this just because the wind is still at play. This flies more like a buzz SS type of shot. That should be perfect. Fade just a little bit. Ooh, I think it stayed up on the island, so we should be good. We're gonna play a little faster. Good disc selection going with the buzz. It could have easily gone long, but I just wanted to, when the wind is up, I like to disc up a little bit just to make sure I don't have to throw it as hard. And it's not as affected by the wind, so. Good one to get. We got, what do we got? 2 holes left now. All right, hole 17 is 270 feet it says, but it definitely plays farther than that. I don't think that's right. I'm gonna go Aztec, see if I can get some good distance up there, give myself a putt. Here we go. Oh, needs to drift a little bit high, but, oh, way short, holy cow. All right, since we've thrown it a lot today, let's go flash. I don't think it's gonna get there, but we're gonna try it anyway. It's got some good turn. A little bit too stable though. Not a bad shot. Not there though. All right, came up a little bit short here. Got a noodle arm today, but maybe we can throw in a long putt here. Good line, just too low. All right guys, hole 18, I don't know what the distance is, but probably plays like 280 or so up the hill. I'm gonna go buzz here, see if we can finish off with a birdie. Get up there. That should be up there. A little short, but it should be fine. I would say that's a good throw. Yeah, that is really good. All right, last one. Getting worn out here. Let's go with a flash. See if we can go a little spike hyzer around the trees there. Could be really good actually. Get around, get around. Oh, it is. That's parked. That is parked. I just got my buzz, my first one. I got the TI, and the flash is right up there beside the basket. So about 20 feet to end my round here. And that is how you do it. Well guys, that is gonna wrap this round up. Very good round out here at Riverview. Flash, the Z Flash was a great disc for me today. A little more unexpected than I was thinking it was gonna fly, but a little more stable, kind of like a broken in onyx. So I would say this is a disc that more people need to check out. It is, I think this is a max weight, a little bit of a pop top. Great disc though. I'm gonna keep experimenting with this for both backhand and sidearm. Also have the TI Buzz, which flew good for me. The Thrasher, don't think it's gonna make the bag, but guys, great round out here today. If you're in the Augusta area, really, if you're in the southeast at all, we've got some bad weather coming in, so y'all stay safe. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.